Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Games. I'm Jake, and today we've got another theory video. Now this theory video involves a lot of spoilers for Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. So if you haven't seen it yet, get the heck out, go to a theater and see it. What's wrong with you? Okay, pump the brakes, Thanos, thank you. So this theory has the potential to change the way we look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it all has to do with Doctor Strange and what he did with the Time Stone before he gave it to Thanos. If you've seen the movie, you'll recall a scene where Doctor Strange uses the Time Stone to look into the future and looks into probably millions of alternate futures where only one time the Avengers beat Thanos. I think it had something to do with Captain Marvel. So I think Doctor Strange traveled back in time to 1990, which is when the Captain Marvel movie is going to be taking place. He meets a young Nick Fury and Carol Danvers. He warns Carol Danvers that she has to disappear until the time is right. That way Thanos knows nothing about her. And I think this also is going to prompt Nick Fury to start the Avengers Initiative and start seeking out other superpowered people. We could see that this interaction during an end credit scene in Captain Marvel, or maybe even just at the end of the movie. How crazy would that be? Suddenly all the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that have led up to this moment were started because of something that happened in Infinity War. A lot of this is just theory, but I do have a couple details that I think really back up my theory. The first one is the end credit scenes of Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. It's where Nick Fury starts to see New York as half of the universe starts to disappear, and even Nick Fury himself ends up disappearing, but not before he sends out a distress signal on a jacked up 1990s pager to Captain Marvel. If Fury had this special pager that could have called Captain Marvel, why not use it in Avengers 1? Why not use it in Avengers 2 or in any of the other crises that have happened in all these 18 movies? I think it's because when Doctor Strange went back in time, he described what would happen to Nick Fury so that he knew the exact moment to let Captain Marvel know it's time for her to get back in the game. Now, part of why I think this is going to set Nick Fury on his path to create the Avengers, Kevin Feige has also been quoted saying that the events of Captain Marvel are going to set Fury on a path that will lead us to where we are 19 movies later. Now, the other detail I have is a little bit smaller and could be coincidental, but it makes a whole lot more sense with this theory. If you'll recall, in Captain America: Winter Soldier, there's a moment where someone name drops Doctor Strange. It's in a segment where a Hydra double agent is going over a list of people who are threats to Hydra, and he name drops Stephen Strange. Now, this was interesting to a lot of fans because the Doctor Strange movie hadn't happened yet. So suddenly it caused a question in the timeline. Was Doctor Strange already active at this point, or was this just a mess up? Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige kind of talked it off at the time as Doctor Strange was a renowned physician and was therefore a threat to Hydra. I think Doctor Strange was already on Nick Fury's superhero list because he met him in 1990. Now let's talk about who is Captain Marvel. Why is she so important? Kevin Feige has been quoted saying that Captain Marvel is going to be one of the most powerful characters that they've introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And what are her powers? Well, they're pretty simple. She can fly, she has super strength, and she can shoot energy blasts. And depending on what they want to do in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she may have some cosmic powers. She's considered a cosmic superhero. In the comics, Captain Marvel has fought Thanos mano a mano, but never Captain Marvel. If you were to lay out simple stats, Captain Marvel and Thanos are not at all equal, but Captain Marvel could hold her own against Thanos. But Captain Marvel's not going to be alone. She's going to have Iron Man and all the OG Avengers to back her up. And together, they might just have a chance against Thanos. Plus, after winning, he's going to be cocky. So now the real question is, where can she hide that Thanos won't reach her? As we saw at the end of the Infinity War, Thanos wiped out half of the universe, despite class, gender, race. He even wiped out people he had never met before. Random people on the streets of New York were disappearing who probably had no idea who Thanos was. So even if Carol Danvers was to evade being known by Thanos, there's still a 50-50 shot that she would disappear, which is a pretty big gamble. I think Doctor Strange took it to the next level to make sure Thanos couldn't reach her. And where could he not reach her? I think it's the quantum realm. The quantum realm was first introduced to us in Antman. we see the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, shrink down to a subatomic level to stop a nuclear missile from hitting the United States. In the process, she got lost in the quantum realm. Later in the movie, Scott Lang is forced to shrink down to a subatomic level in order to save his daughter, and in doing so, he also enters the quantum realm. Luckily, and for the first time ever, he was able to get out of the quantum realm. The next time we see the quantum realm is in Doctor Strange. The Ancient Ones sent Doctor Strange on a wild ride through the quantum realm. There's even a screenshot where people think they see someone else in the quantum realm floating around. Regardless, the quantum realm is kind of an unknown factor. It's otherworldly and full of potential. And so far, it can only be accessed by magic or by shrinking, for some reason. So, I think in 1990, Doctor Strange put Carol Danvers in the quantum realm for safekeeping from Thanos. She may even be the person floating around in that screenshot, and not Janet Van Dyne. I don't think it's a coincidence that Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel are happening between Avengers Infinity War 1 and Avengers Infinity War Part 2, or whatever they're gonna call it. So in the trailers we've seen so far, Ant-Man and the Wasp look like they're on the run. But I think a large part of the movie is gonna focus on trying to get the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, back from the quantum realm. And regardless of whether or not they see or also bring Captain Marvel out, they will have found a system to get someone out of the quantum realm. And it's been rumored that the movie Captain Marvel will also involve the quantum realm. Physicist Dr. Spiros, a consultant for Marvel Studios, was quoted by Inverse saying that the quantum realm is going to have a really important part in Captain Marvel. He said it's going to help audiences better understand Captain Marvel and her place in the cinematic universe. The next question is how she's going to get out, and we learned from Ant-Man how difficult that can be. I have a few thoughts, but I'm not really sure. One of the easiest ways she could get out is if Doctor Strange had just given her a sling ring so that she could warp herself out when the time was right. But we don't really know if it's possible to have communication between the quantum realm and the real Earth, which also begs the question of where is that pager sending a message to? It's possible that Doctor Strange worked some magic on the pager so that it would work in the quantum realm. It's also possible that if Iron Man went into the past with him, he could have rigged some technology to help it work. Maybe it's a combo of both? My other theory is that in Ant-Man vs. the Wasp, there will be an end credit scene where they find Captain Marvel. Or maybe they'll see the distress signal from within the quantum realm and go in to save her. And it's also possible that that pager will somehow open a portal to the quantum realm and release Captain Marvel. To sum it all up, I think Doctor Strange went back to 1990 to warn Captain Marvel and Nick Fury about Thanos. He hides Captain Marvel in the quantum realm, and Nick Fury begins his quest to start the Avengers Initiative. And that's my theory. Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I right? Am I close? Am I crazy? Either way, like this video, and if you like what you saw here, consider subscribing to Chortle Games. We're going to be doing more theory videos like this one, including one where Steven talks about what he thinks is going to happen in Avengers 4.